What makes a trained soldier walk back into the fire after finally escaping it? Why would someone who mastered survival in darkness return not to fight, but to save strangers? This is the real story of a man who went from elite military mission to frontline rescue, not for glory, not for medals, but for humanity. Aframatos never set out to become a hero. In fact, he didn't even realize how deeply his life would become intertwined with sacrifice and compassion. It all began during one of the harshest training sessions of his life. As a young cadet in Special Forces training, he was pushed to his physical and mental limits. In the freezing cold, under the brutal gaze of commanding officer, his body started to shut down, and then came the whisper in his mind, "This is enough. Just give up." But he didn't. That exact moment became a turning point, a moment that taught him to survive in darkness, you must keep your inner fire alive. Years later, in real mission cross conflict zones, he witnessed things that haunted him, the worst of it. The innocent ones, children caught in wars they didn't start, families broken by battle they never chose. People who had no voice in politics yet paid the highest price. When his military service ended, he could have gone home, started over, lived peaceful, normal life, but something inside him couldn't stay quiet. He knew his mission doesn't over. So he volunteered to go where most were fleeing to place under siege, a city called Mosul. There he joined a group of volunteers, not soldiers, not journalists, just people willing to help. Mothers, children, families who had lost everything. Though no longer part of the military, Aframatos used his tactical mind to plan routes, manage rescues, and guide others through dangerous territory. He walked under shellfire, ran into buildings others were running out of, and brought hope to place buried in fear. In one mission, he heard a faint cry, a child's voice coming from a half-collapsed building. No hesitation, he entered. Cracked walls, a ceiling ready to fall, and explosions just blocks away. But he moved forward. He found the child, lifted them on his shoulders. And just as they were exciting, a shockwave slammed the building. Part of the wall fell, injuring his leg. But he didn't stop. He carried that child to safety. One of his teammates had filmed the rescue. The footage later went viral. Not because it looked heroic, but because it showed the raw truth. Real courage is silent, quiet, selfless. After returning to the USA, people asked him, "Why did you do that?" His answer was simple: "If I don't go, who will?" But his mission didn't end there. He took all those experiences, all that pain and purpose, and turned it into something lasting, a humanitarian organization called Stronghold Rescue and Relief. Its goal: to deliver hope, food, medical aid, and safety to forgotten corners of the world, to places where no one else goes, to people no one else sees. Today, From Matters is not just a rescuer. He is a mentor, a symbol of what one person, just one, can do when they choose to stand up, even when the world looks away. True courage doesn't always happen on the battlefield. Sometimes it's born in silence, in that quiet decision to act despite fear. We may not all be like Aframatos, but each of us can make difference by spreading kindness, by choosing empathy, and by supporting those who serve humanity in the darkest places. If this story moved you, hit that like button and drop your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever met someone whose life changed just to help others? And if you want to hear more powerful true stories like this, subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell so you don't miss what is next.